What's up, y'all? It's your host, Cesar, aka I'm back again with another episode. Today, we have a lot to cover, but first, make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Send it to your friends, send it to your granny, send it to your mother, let them all watch. And just to give y'all a little synopsis of what this episode is going to be. Number one, I totally forgot I haven't talked about the NBA Finals yet. Free agency has been going crazy. We're going to sit back and talk about the big, beautiful bill. And Love Island. Very fun. Very fun. It's going to be very fun today. Oh, I've had such a headache thinking about this episode. But first, I want to talk about the fun. I'm going to talk about the fun. The ability to live vicariously through reality TV stars. And honestly, this year's Love Island, I have never watched Love Island before, but this feels like the first time I'm truly inside of the villa with them. I feel like I'm experiencing the heartbreak that these mugs are out here playing this manipulative game with each other, and I don't like it. Just for a quick heads up, I'm only about 10 to 15 episodes in so far, and I'm going to try and give a full-on synopsis diagnosis for majority of the characters and just things that I'm noticing so far. Will I be mentioning some of the spoilers I've been seeing? I just have to. But to start this off, I want to talk about the shortstop, the villain of this year, in my opinion, the worst character in all of this. Number one, Ace. I've talked about Ace for a bit. Honestly, he's been on my shit list since the first episode. If y'all haven't noticed, I have been streaming Love Island on Twitch, on TikTok, and on YouTube. So if you're coming here from there, hello, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. I know we're just as funny on here too. But let me start off with Ace. The reason why he's blown me since the beginning of the show, he started off saying, hey, the first three things you know about him is, hey, I'm a dancer and I teach dance. I'm a dancer that teaches a club. I teach people how to dance and move their bodies because that's happiness. That's the first thing he comes out with. Number two, he just wants to have fun. He's a loving guy. He's a caring guy. And number three, he is 5'10". I am 5'10". And when I tell you I felt the disrespect, I don't even know why. Straight off the bat, I was just infuriated by it. But once I looked at him, I'm like, I don't think you don't look 5'10". You don't look very 5'10". He's standing inside that circle, and I'm like, the proportions are off. It can't be, because hey, guess what? I'm 5'10". I know what 5'10" looks like. And the fact that you're on national television lying it's just beyond me. I'm out here watching him walk around with some of the women on the stream, or I'm watching him walk around with some of the women in the villa. I'm like, Shelly looks tall, but she can't be 6'2". I'm looking at Alondra. I'm like, you could be tall, but you cannot be 6'3". You cannot be 6'3". And then he stands next to Austin. He says, hey, I'm like 6'4", 6'3". And I'm like, huh. You look 6'9". You look 6'9". And I don't know. I feel like it was an attack on me, watching him lie to those people on that villa. And honestly, I feel like once he filled out the application and sent it in, and once he arrived, I know the producers were like, well, this is going to be a very, very, very fun season, because right off the bat, we're coming off swinging. And the way that he's been maneuvering on the villa feels like you almost forget that he's 22. That's the main thing that you start to recognize. Because I was like, this feels like just graduated college game. This seems like he's spitting the game that if you haven't met somebody that's either one, handsome, two, a full-grown adult, and three, if They hadn't literally just came out of high school nor college. This game should not work. It cannot work. Let me start off with there, and I'm watching the way that he's interacting with some of the other with his other Love Island mates, specifically Jeremiah. But you know what? Before I even hit on the Jeremiah and Huda connection, I want to talk about the fact that he has been playing big dog this whole season up until when Jalen walks in. When they have the male bombshells that are not white, he's like, oh, okay, this is definitely different. This is a different ball game. And at least they weren't messing with the people that he personally found attractive or that he was personally going for. So I think that's why he was out here taking a step back, not really feeling as intimidated as later episodes go by. Because if I know about Chris, I know about him. Just watched him, little bro, everybody, the other men on the villa. It was really shocking to me because I'm like, why are you letting him talk like this to y'all? Why are you having him lead everything? Why are you, Jeremiah, listening to him? And then I'm looking at Jeremiah. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you just get handsome? Is this what happened? Did you literally just become 6'2"? Is that what it was? Because of the way that he's sitting here second guessing himself and confused that Huda is out here shooting all of it on him. Why are you looking confused? It makes sense that they're dark. That's the way that it's going. But you know, let's switch off. One more thing. I can't believe he was treating Amaya that way, because it felt like it was his chance to put someone behind the sticks. It was his chance to not only dogpile, but it was his own chance to set her up as the little bro and the whole villa. Have everyone else start slowly but surely turning against Amaya, right? Because of it feels like, especially with this season, it feels like everybody is there not for the love. They're all there to eventually get the 1 million followers once you come back home. And that is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Oh, and I'll keep watching. Let me talk about Huda. I'm gonna be jumping all around because I binge watched literally 7 episodes straight, 7 hours. Wow, it was almost a full workday that I put it in onto Love Island. You know what? Just for that, everyone just give me a round of applause. Everyone get to the snapping. You know what? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because this was a lot for me to live vicariously through these people on this deserted island. I honestly, my brain. But let's talk about Huda real quick. The baby mama drama. I'm not gonna lie. I am very endeared towards Huda. I get it. I definitely understand it. But one thing I am not going to stand for is the confusion when people are looking at you thinking that you are love bombing, and then I'm watching you do everything but manipulation. And the only reason why it's not manipulation is because you are not aware of what you are doing. That is literally it. As I'm watching the Huda and Jeremiah relationship that's going on, I'm at the part where they're starting to fall apart because of they come back, everything seems all well and good, and then everybody else just starts doing more spontaneous things. Ace goes takes Shelly on a little yoga romantic thing. There's folks that are making each other breakfast. It's nice, it's cute, it's very nice. And then when it's Jeremiah's turn to do something for Huda, he doesn't really show up in a way that was satisfying to her, which is like, you know what, I get it. We all have our certain ways of being loved. And then I turn around, she's cussing him out. She says, hey, you're just going to let another man make a pancake for me? Really? And then Jeremiah's like, why are you freaking out over a pancake? And then Huda's like, why the fuck would you think it's only because of pancake? You know what? I don't like the way you're moving. And then the way that Jeremiah responds is, why are you attacking me over something so small? And I'm out here dealing with your fact you got a baby. And you know what? The fact that you're out here throwing it back in her face is a little insane. I can't lie. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Is it a little wild that she keeps saying I have a baby as a trump card to other people? That's also crazy to me. But hey, live your truth, baby. I cannot blame you. It's the life that you are given, not the life that you will receive. And I'm sitting, I'm watching. And I'm like, I think these two don't work well together purely based off of the communication error that comes from both of these people being together. Because of they're both completely right in their what the fuck is wrong with you type of, they're both completely right in their what the fuck is wrong with you. Because of, hey, I asked you to make something simple and you couldn't complete it? I'm literally telling you, hey, I like to be loved in this manner. And you're out here rolling your eyes in the back of your head thinking that I'm a crazy, wanting too much love. Do not piss me off. And then Jeremiah's here watching is like, well, I have been loyal and committed to you. And just you. Especially in the context of the villa. Because the villa's out here freaked out. You know it, I know it. And that's honestly... Bro, I'm surprised nobody's parts have fell off. The amount of time they're out here lip locking and kissing, and truth be told, they out here breaking back. You know I can see you, right? Bro, shorty jump on top of him. I said, wow, they're finna film this. This should be an R-rated, I'm not gonna lie. But the amount of kissing and lip locking and spitting things into other people's mouths, and then one of my favorite games they ran so far was the baseball game, right? Where you have to like slide into each area and then they do the freakiest things, right? And the fact that you're watching these games go by and you have to like disconnect from the fact that this is part of just the entertainment value of the game, and then you have to try and lock back in on your relationship is difficult. I understand that. And Jeremiah. Yes, all right. I'm back. So Jeremiah is doing all these things, right? While everyone else has been going out their way to explore. He has been like, you know what? You have been giving me so much energy that I want to reciprocate, but I don't want to close myself off for the future. And I'm like, you know what? If that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. You cannot fight it. But she's giving you her all. She has given it all just to you. If so, no one is trying to pull her off for chats. No one is trying to spit no game because they know that they are both just tied in and locked in. But now that we're watching the cracks live, you start to notice, wait a minute. Have I been putting all my eggs in one basket for no reason? And that's what this whole season feels like. Cause all the couples that I've seen so far, I'm like, man, this shit don't make sense. Like the closest one that I was thinking of, I thought, first of all, I'm so glad that Bella jumped in and jumped the fuck out of here. Cause she seems like she was like, yeah, this might be a little bit much. She's just a baby. I think she was like 22. It's a wild watching this show. It's so wild. But yeah, as I'm watching, the relationship seems like there was no way this show was gonna work in the first place, right? And not even so much that it wasn't gonna work. I don't think these couples wanted to work. Like the one that's been blowing me the most so far, Taylor and Alondra. They gonna get up here, get in everybody's faces. Actually, no. They weren't even showing it out really. Honestly, watching Taylor felt like a guy that has just been surprised that he is attractive enough to be able to interact with the women that's around. And I'm like, bro, please put some bass in your chest, put your chest up, and please just talk. Explain something. Talk. Interact. Really be part of the conversation. And bros are just sitting back like, He's doing this cool thing. And I'm like, cool, fine, I get it. That is not your thing. You don't like to be lip locking and being all extra cuddly and things of that nature. Then why are you trying to chain yourself with the woman that wants more? She wants more. Let her go. Let her fly away. And then when Jalen pulls up, he's like, oh, let me turn up. I gotta do something. I gotta show up some way, somehow. And watching Jalen, he gave me joy. Jalen's been my favorite character so far. I'll not lie. When they added the two new bombshells, Jalen and Pepe, you get this feeling that not that these two are better than everybody that they've just shown so far, but it feels like personality-wise, these two are far more well-rounded than everyone that they've been showing so far. And that is insane. Because of, if they had switched it, I've been thinking about that while I've been watching, because I've been able to see some of the clips that's some of the leaks of the later season. If the first group was Charlie, Jalen, Pepe, Chris, and let's add Austin and Ace, right? I feel like people would have been coupled up way faster than what they were doing. Oh my god! Oh my god! Which is definitely sad. Definitely sad. But yeah, that's my soliloquy so far. All right, we are 18. I think this is like 17 minutes in. That's cool. That's cool. Is there any more characters I want to talk about? I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Nick. He's too freaked out for me. He's far too horny for myself, for my liking. I don't blame him though. I definitely do not blame him. I think he saw there's gonna be baddies. He said, of course, let me just go ahead and just sign that paper. Let me go and put myself down there. Because the fact that everybody wants him it has to be some white boy of the month energy. And it got to be something like that, because I do not know what's going on. You're telling me, bro. You're telling me Bella's like, yeah, I need that. Sierra's like, oh no, I definitely need that. She was willing to be in a love triangle for that man. And then just for the next bombshell to drop, what's shorty name? I think, was that Iris? No, I don't think it was Iris. Blonde. You know what? Beyond the point. Then right away, he goes from a triangle with Bella and Sierra to another triangle with Sierra and another bombshell. You was back to back. You was right into it. Y'all just wanted him. No, that's ridiculous. Honestly, I had such high hopes for Austin. I thought he was going to be a lot more fun. I thought it was going to be a more well-rounded type of yap sessions I was getting from him. And keep in mind, Austin is a handsome guy. And he's just been dropping the ball everywhere. Just dropping it. You're telling me you're going one-on-one with Ace and you getting dubbed? How? Just how? No. Real quick, I'll talk about the height thing as well. He's not more than 2 inches taller he's not more than 2 inches taller than Amaya. I'm not gonna hold you. Oh my god, that shit blew me. You know what? I might just be insecure about my own height. I think that's really all this is. Because there ain't no way. Oh my god. Oh. I was talking about girls, some of my peoples, and we were trying to figure out how height looks like from the woman's point of view versus men's point of view. And men are able to be like, okay, I could tell what 5'8" looks like and what 5'9" looks like, and I know what 6'3" looks like, and I know exactly what 6'4" looks like. But from the point of view of a woman, they're like, well, from 5'8" till 6'6'1", that's all the same. That's just the exact same thing. And honestly, that is very upsetting. Honestly, I've been called short so many times. I remember this one girl. I'm at the bar. I'm talking to her friend. And this girl walks up and says, "Why are you letting this short dude talk to you?" My brother in Christ, I am taller than the both of y'all bums. Taller than both y'all. Don't ever come and disrespect me like that. So I said, you know what? You definitely got it. You definitely got it. And that's Love Island, episode 1 through 15. You know what? Come to my stream. I talk a lot more. I definitely enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. Could I be on Love Island? I don't think I have the heart for it, because the amount of cucking that I'm gonna have to blur that word all the way out. The amount of cucking I am watching from bro is insane. You're telling me you want me to sit back as you walk my girl into the speakeasy? You want me to sit back as you pull my girl away for a chat? You want me to sit by and watch you make her breakfast and then go put her in pretzels? No. I cannot. Not even to mention all the lip locking. I love a good kiss. But you out here kissing and kissing and kissing and kissing? No. I really hope everyone was tested. That's the main thing I was thinking about the whole time I watched the show. I watched that milk episode. I'm like, please. Y'all gonna create another COVID. Y'all will create another COVID inside that villa. And I personally, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. What are parts of Love Island am I excited for the rest of the season? I heard there's a tell-all episode. Oh, another thing. The amount of crash outs I'm watching on this show is absolutely benign. Why are you crashing out for this guy that barely has a life outside of here? And I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's the part that keeps bringing me out on this show. Y'all know y'all gonna have to link these folks outside of here, right? You are gonna have to see them later, especially if you win that 100K. I cannot stand by. No. It's the fakery. It's the fact that folks can't stand up for themselves. It's the fact that people are out here allowing people to talk great. Oh my God, the gossiping. I thought the gossip was bad on Gossip Girl, but I'm watching bro literally go and chat to Mandem. Bro, Nick has been chatting so much. I can't stand it. I cannot deal with it, bro. He's literally Nick and Alondra. You know what? Nick and Alondra have been chatting far too much. And Alondra has been throwing Nick under the bus this whole season, talking about all the time that he has been lip-locking with other girls in front of the girl that she's talking about. It's crazy. And then I saw a spoiler where they go off in a car together, and I think they go on a date or some shit like that. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm excited to keep watching though. All right. NBA Finals time. We talking hoops. We talking hooks. This is the first Game 7 in 9 years. Yeah, 9 to 10 years is the first Game 7. And honestly, it did not disappoint. I want to start off with, oh my God, Tyrese. You might be the toughest Tyrese I've seen in a while. You better than the artist, bro. You moving better than the artist. My brother in Christ. I think you had like 9. What was it? It was like 9 to 13 points in the first 9 minutes of the first quarter. Whoa. And then you went to tore your ACL. Whoa. I'm not gonna lie. If Tyrese Halliburton played the whole finals, I would not be surprised if he ended up winning the game. Winning and getting finals MVP off that just one performance. Even though he's been very mediocre for majority of this playoff run. Y'all don't want to have that. Y'all do not want to have that conversation. He has been mad. I don't even want to call it mid. I don't want to call it mid. Because when he does show up, he's shown up better than when Dame was showing up back in 2015, 2014, 2016. Where as long as he's on the court, you don't know what is happening. You don't know who the ball going to. But some way, somehow, Tyrese has been in one quarter. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And it feels like, honestly, I'm very glad that the Indiana Pacers lost. I'm not glad in the way that they ended up losing the game, But I'm glad that they lost because there were some conversations that me personally, I was not ready to have. I was not ready to have those conversations. No. Because it's one of those things where the NBA has this way of copycatting each other, where they're kind of forced to do whatever they can to win, and what you tend to do, you try and mimic the people that beat y'all. But it's very difficult when a team like the Indiana Pacers makes a run for it, because that is not the way you're supposed to win. You are supposed to lose a couple times. Your players are supposed to get a little bit older, and they're supposed to get a little bit better. And then you're supposed to figure out a type of play style that's able to come back what they do. But what they did was, hey, we are all good enough to be 6 men. This is a team of 6 men. The 2024-2025 Indiana Pacers were literally just a bunch of role players, a bunch of 6 men that had the green light to do whatever they wanted. And it was to the point where you got guys coming off the bench like TJ McConnell, and he was playing to not only a star level, he's playing to an all-star level. My brother had like 18 points in like 12 minutes that he actually played. He was causing comebacks by himself as a 6-foot white 30-year-old. He was out here hooping like prime Mike. There's a clip in Game 7 when he pulls it out against SGA, and he goes tween cross, and the SGA is up. And then bro goes and lays it up, kills him. And I'm like, damn. Y'all out here having the 7th, 8th guy. Because keep in mind, TJ McCollum is not a starter. TJ McCollum is not a 6-man. That's Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin's a 6-man. Ben Makinen is a 6-man. And then you got TJ McCollum out here showing out that he's the best player on the team. And it all comes back to the fact that you have a guy in Tyrese Halliburton who is so talented, but he's able to turn himself back to the point where you have no names coming on and be like, oh, I'm that guy. I have been that guy. I know how to be that guy. And you don't get that often because of a lot of players shrink. Shrinking is so common, especially when you're a young player. And keep in mind, when the season started, halfway through the season, they had a poll of who's the most overrated player in the league. They said, hey, Tyrese, you are number 1. You genuinely suck. You're about to get $300 million and you average 15, 19, 7 assists. You don't deserve that money. And he's like, hey, just so you know, I went to the finals before Embiid. Yup. I went to the finals before Donovan fucking Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has less finals appearances than I do. So hold that before we come through. And not even to mention the type of run that he was going on himself. Tyrese Halliburton, every single round, he hit a game winner. You don't do that. And the thing is, it's not just the fact that he's hitting game winners. The way that he's getting these shots is more than cinematic. People were calling out to the devil like he was putting something inside this game. He was out here sending Tyrese to the place he wasn't supposed to go. I have never seen a player have such a lacking of a bag. Just a disorganized play style and still able to light y'all up. How does he? Oh my God, it was pissing me off. I was out here watching the game specifically. He was going against the New York Knicks. They put OG Anunoby. OG was sitting. They switch off onto Josh Hart. Josh Hart was sitting. They will switch on to who's the other guy? Mikal Bridges. Mikal was sitting. And some way, somehow, he still ends up getting the last 11 points of a game in the third. Come on, bro. Come on. And the way that playing with house money is such an understatement to the way that he's able to get things done. Because he was supposed to lose in the second round. He technically was supposed to lose in the first round. My bro, they were like, hey, You're gonna go against Giannis and Dame. Dame is way better than you, and Giannis is just woo. Just don't even try to have that conversation. And he was out here showing up and showing out. He had the game winner on Giannis. He said tween cross, beat Giannis off the dribble, got to the late finish. He doesn't have a dribble package. How did that happen? How the heck? What? Huh? And it's and I'm watching. Teams were trying to do this thing where they're like, hey, let's overload. Let's get the ball out of Tyrese's hand. Let's make sure he's not able to beat us. He was never beating y'all. He was never the reason y'all were losing. And now y'all out here doubling a guy that averages 17 points. That's not good ball, bro. That's not good ball. You got your best defender on him. Okay. Benedict Mackerton. The first game against the New York Knicks. You know what? Naismith, I lied. Naismith and Tyrese had 31 and 30. Wow. Just wow. And I thought, because I remember I made a TikTok. I said the Knicks would probably beat them just based off the way that the Knicks were built. I thought that Karl Anthony Towns was going to send them boys to hell. Send them back. Send them to Gary. I thought that's what the game was going to be like. But no. Bro, Karl Anthony Towns, 35 and 12 in 39 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 43 and 5 in 38 minutes. It was to the point where if you're in front of Jalen was going to do you bad. Jalen was going to do you really, really, really bad. And some way, somehow, as I'm watching, I thought Tyrese had a bad game. Bro, I'm out here watching, especially in game one. I'm watching, I'm like, he's scoring, but nah, he has like, I think 25 at most. 20, he might have 20. Bro ended the game with 31 points. And as I'm watching, I'm like, he's not even like doing much. He's barely initiating, bro. He's mostly just setting up guys to run the rim, just get easy buckets, and we're just gonna keep pining. You're just gonna keep pining. Because what the Tyrese-led Indiana Pacers like to do, they like to get back. They want you to have such a comfortable lead that you forget They want you to have such a comfortable lead that you forget the rules of the game of basketball. You're like, okay, y'all up. Y'all can just keep hooping. Y'all gonna get sloppy shots. Missed 3. We made it 3. Missed layup because you were doing too much. Try to go coast to coast. We're gonna get pass, corner 3. Oh, you want to shoot again? You know, fine. Go ahead, shoot that 3, Karl Anthony Towns. You have a high percentage in theory, but you just missed 3 in a row. That's weird. But fine, whatever. Come back, win, and now you're in the fucking hole. Keep in mind, they went to your house and they did that to y'all. And now let's fast forward. I can't be talking about the playoff run. That will be a whole synopsis that I'll probably do in like a couple of months, whatever I get the energy. I'm watching the Indiana Pacers go up against the SGA-led Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm like, there is no way in Jehovah that the Indiana Pacers are going to be able to even run with this squad. It can't be done. They not only do the OKC Thunder have the greatest defensive sets of all time, statistically, objectively, eye candy, eye test. They just them guys, right? Not only that, they capitalize off of loosey-goosey hoops. And that's exactly what the Indiana Pacers do. So I'm like, oh, they got them. They not even mention SGA is having the greatest guard season since Kobe Bean Bryant's 2008 run. This is going to be a belt, I promise you. Game 1, they lose. Whoa. Whoa. Game winner. That's not the good look. It's not the good look. So now the underdog just got the undisputed favorite just got punched in the fucking mouth. They down. That's not good. That's not good at all. And you start noticing stuff. The way that the OKC Thunder like to run their team, they kind of have this MJ and Pippen type of swag to them, where they have one guy that's just They have one guy that's such an undisputed bucket getter that it turns into, hey, you have to run sets to try and force me to get all the way to the lane. You would rather have me try and get this hard finish over y'all than it is for me to shoot a jumper. He has been so deadly from the mid-range that people are starting to have flashbacks to the Mike, Kobe, KD type of play styles. And you watch them like, what is going on? The setup doesn't make sense. And they're still somehow able to throw so many different looks, so many different coverages consistently. Because of when you're playing against the guy that understands how to score, when you're playing against a guy that just conventionally knows what positions that he has to be in to be able to get the ball in the rim, you start to realize you can't run the same thing for 3 possessions in a row because it's like, hey, I'm going to figure that out faster than you will notice that I'm figuring it out. So now they're able to start slowing him down. Game 6 and game 4, if I'm remembering it correctly. They start sending doubles coming from the weak side. And on the offensive end, the Indiana Pacers are doing this thing where Miles Turner might be ass, but he's for sure not ass enough to get rebounds and not ass enough to not be able to score off of a second-year Chet Holmgren. So now the only mismatch, the only missing piece that's the only offensive valve that the OKC Thunder is able to run halfway through the series is consistently trying to force SGA to get buckets going. But that's not what they've been doing, because the main way they've been winning is, okay, SGA, you're going to be able to account for 56-ish points every game, right? We can always count on you for that from your scoring ability, from your scoring load, alongside your playmaking load. Our defense is going to give us an extra 15. Our defense is going to generate about 15 to 18 points every single game, just based off the fact that we're able to get steals, bad shots, and we're able to get steals, force it onto bad shots, and then get people into transition. That is our bread and butter. And making people make mistakes is very effective when you are later in the playoffs, for the main reason being every single bucket not only counts, but it starts affecting your team and your coaching style very heavily, because it's like, okay, they didn't even blow up what we like to do. All they did was just made us make mistakes. So are we going to blow up the thing that we've been using, or are we going to just like stick to it and just be like, hey, this is an anomaly, they're just really good on defense, so we'll just call it a day and we'll get it back on the next game? So no, you are forced to be like, okay, make this hard decision and then live with it, because if you're going to go do the same exact thing, it's going to be very difficult. And another thing, the OKC Thunder is sitting back and watching. J-Dub isn't producing the way that we thought he was going to produce. Okay, we will really need him to start showing out like he was last series, where he was just killing the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was sending us, oh my God, he was whooping the Minnesota Timberwolves bad, bro. He was doing us bad. So as we're watching, we're thinking to ourselves, what could we do? And in some way, somehow, the Indiana Pacers just keep winning. Game 6 goes by, they're able to steal that one, and we're at a game 7, and now all the chips are down. You got to do whatever it takes, because keep in mind, the Indiana Pacers have been playing with house money this whole fucking season. This season they've been playing with house money. They literally just needed to, hey, as long as we can make it to the 4th seed, win the first round, we did enough for our city. They get all the way to the fucking finals with a 25-year-old, I think, 25, 26. So not only are they playing with house money, OKC are in this position where if they lose, the world will be throwing stones at them. Tomato paste, tomato sauce. You have SGA, motherfuckers are calling him a foul baiter. He doesn't shoot as much free throws as people people were watching SGA and calling him a foul baiting, foul merchant. He doesn't shoot as much free throws as a guy like Michael Jordan, as a guy like Kobe Bean Bryant, as a guy like Joel Embiid, as a guy like fucking LeBron James. He doesn't even shoot them. People are calling this bad. My brother, I lived through the James Harden Houston era. I know what foul baiting is. I know what it means when someone has to put their hands behind their back in. That's all they can do, because anything else they do is foul. I literally watched James Harden get 25 free throws in a game. I know what it means to be a foul merchant. James Harden used to dribble by, grab someone's arm, and put it in his arm, and then do this, and get 2 free throws consistently. So the fact that people were just saying, hey, you actually suck. And guess what? Your playoff run hasn't even been that good to begin with. You should have lost. You just went to game 7 with a depleted and injury-filled Nuggets team. You should be, you're all-star. You're the all-star standing right next to you, J-Dub. He's not even an all-star, really. He's just lucky to be on a team with you that's making him look a lot better than he is. And then folks are talking about his whole squad is like, well, you guys are young, and you guys are pretty lucky. You guys got very favorable matchups. You guys didn't have to see Steph. You guys didn't have to see who else? Who else was another team? You didn't have to see Steph. You didn't have to see the clip. You didn't have to see a healthy Kawhi. You got to see an injured Jokic. Yeah, you got. You played against the Grizzlies. Ugh, this run. Yeah, let's just watch it out. You're not even the real MVP. You really suck. The guy that you guys just jumped, he should have been the MVP. You really do suck. I'm just letting you know now. So they're already calling it fraudulent. They were already setting up all the narratives to ruin a fantastic season like SJ was having. And some way, somehow, they have led themselves to a game 7 where everything could go wrong. You don't want to be in a game 7. I don't want to be in a game 7 because literally anything can happen. And keep in mind, this Indiana Pacers team plays better away than at home. Very worrisome. So they're playing. Right before Tyrese gets hurt, you start looking around. They're like, okay, the tides are changing. This doesn't look too good for OKC. Tyrese gets hurt. They get the little bounce back. They start getting up. But as I'm watching, I'm like, are y'all going to get the lead? Y'all are just going to sit here and, they're only like 7 points away, and they just had a 15-point comeback against y'all. As I'm watching, stuff gets really close, and they were just able to barely sneak by. Because keep in mind, Pascal has been hooping his heart out. Obi Toppin turned into one of the best shooters I've ever seen in my life for some reason. Naismith has been playing like he deserves, not a max, but he deserves to get paid more than CJ McCollum is getting paid. He's out here overplaying this contract. You got Macarin. He's out here playing well. You got, who's the last guy? Naismith, Nembhard. Oh my God, the Michael Jordan of the squad. He's the real hooper. He believes he's the best player of the team. Honestly, I've also been having this idea when I was watching the Indiana Pacers play this year. It feels like Nembhard, Naismith, and Macarin all believe that they're better than Naismith, Nembhard, and Macarin all believe they are better than Tyrese. That's how they be hooping, bro. It's insane. And the OKC Thunder, they put together a fantastic run. Goes and closes them out. They get the they get the win. SGA gets his finals MVP. He puts up, I think, like 30-some every single game. He's hooping. And yeah, OKC Thunder finally just pulled the game away. And now let's talk about some trades. I want to talk about this offseason has been spectacular. The main teams I really want to talk about from the drafts, from the trades, from the infighting, the Houston Rockets, the Spurs, the Mavs. These three have changed a lot. Let's start it off with Number 1 pick, number 2 pick. Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper. They go to their respective teams that drafted them. Cooper Flagg heads himself all the way to the Dallas Mavericks after they traded Luka, and they somehow, some way, they're able to pull off a Cooper Flagg acquisition. We turn down to the Spurs. For some reason, they just keep getting super high draft picks. I don't know how. I guess they were bad this year. I thought they were going to make the playoffs, but you know what? To each their own. They go and pick up Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper? Who is Dylan Harper, as you might say? He might be the best guard in the draft. He might objectively be the best guard in the draft. He was out here setting people up. The way he's able to facilitate and have this... The way that he's been able to facilitate and have this scoring dynamic that we haven't seen in a very, very long time in a new guard. And then I turn over to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg has been looked at as this year's... When they say potential, they say if he's not at least as good as Paul George, MVPG. If he's not at least, if he doesn't get to there, he's a bust. That's what they're talking about. They're saying, hey, he's going to be at least as good as Paul Pierce. He's going to be at least as good as Carmelo Anthony. The amount of love and admiration that this young man has been able to set himself up with. And honestly, I'm not even mad about it, because if you look at a guy like Cooper Flagg, you don't get a man like Cooper Flagg that frequently in a draft. You don't get a player that's set himself up to be the perfect player to draft because of when he was in high school. You know what? Let's take a step back. Let's take a step back. Cooper Flagg is the greatest basketball player out of the state of Maine. He goes and reclassifies. He's like, hey, I know I'm 17, but let me go ahead and speed this up, because guess what? This draft that's coming up, I will be the guy. I will objectively be better than everybody else. So he's like, okay, I'm going to speed my talents up. I'm going to go to Duke a year early. He goes there and he absolutely dominates. He gets the college MVP. He gets a whole bunch of awards. He's the offensive freshman of the year. He's a hooper. He's a hoopist. And let me talk about his play style. Let's talk about his play style. He has been molded in one of those. He's molded as one of those players that, hey, I know I played with only Division I and super talented guys all my life, from my high school days, because he went to Monte Verde. And then he goes to college in Duke, where it's just even more Division I players. These are guys, right? These are folks that averaged 28 in their high school. They were a guy that was a 25 3-and-D player, but since they're going to be a superstar eventually, they're out here taking over their teams. He's like, hey, I know how to play a role. I am 6'9", I am very athletic, and I have a very, very, very high defensive IQ. I was talking about this on TikTok. I was like, the way that he plays, it kind of reminds me of a Zion Williamson, Ben Simmons combination, for the fact that his IQ just puts him in the correct places, or at least puts him in places where he knows how to react to be able to set up defensive plays that changes the game drastically. And the Zion comparison that I'm gonna give y'all, the amount of highlights that I've seen of him being like, oh, you have to get the ball here. I am 6'9" with a 38-inch vertical. You have to put the ball here for this to make sense. But you put it here, oh yeah, I'm throwing that into the third roll, I promise you. So the fact that he's like, hey, I know how to play defense, and I have the effort to play defense, because that's one of the things that's very much missed. That's one of those things that is very much just missing with a lot of young players, because they're like, I mean, I guess I'll hustle, but scoring 27 is a lot more fun than doing all this hustling on defense. So now he's been sent. He's been sent to a team. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, he's also able to score based off how athletic he is. He's able to put the ball inside that rim because it's like, hey, A, I am more athletic than you. 2, I am bigger than you. And 3, I can shoot. So when you put those 3 together, oh, I almost forgot. He knows, like on the, it's great. Like on the defensive end, he's like, hey, I know when to cut. I can catch oops. You will give me at least 6 points a game based off me just dunking on people. So not to mention a quick right jab left, or a just bring it through power up, I'm going to get at least 9 points doing that a game. Every quarter I can't get a layup? Of course I can. So as the game goes on, he's in this position where it's like, hey, as long as I'm just being athletic, I will at least give me 15 to 18 points as a rookie easily. Because keep in mind, he's going to the Mavericks where they have a guy. They have the guy. Anthony Davis is there. They have good role players. They have guys that's able to set him up. Because guess what? They just picked up D'Lo. You don't think D'Lo can get him at least 8 points a game? Really? So now he's on this team where the future is super bright. And guess what? Now he also gets a chance to learn how to get a bucket. Because keep in mind, Kyrie's on his team. He's going to be training with Uncle Drew. It's only up from here. And now he literally just has to sit back and learn how to be a pro at the next level. This is the easy part. This is the fun part. Literally just pull up to work every day and hang out with folks that you already admire. Beautiful. So that's the number 1 draft pick in the league. And let's turn over to Dylan Harper. I don't so much want to talk about Dylan Harper, but I more so want to talk about what the San Antonio Spurs needs to do to set themselves up to be a real dynasty. Because they have 2 things they could do. They can either win now or win later. Because as you know, they have the Shaolin monk, Victor Wembanyama, at their crib getting better every single day. I just heard some articles talking about he gained 30 points. I heard some articles talking about he gained 30 pounds by accident. Cook, my brother. Do as you need. I ain't got nothing but love. I turn around, I'm watching. I'm like, okay. So you're telling me you have a starting 5 of De'Aaron Fox, Castle, Sohan, Barnes, and Wemby. That is a very, very, very calm lineup. Not to mention you got Vassell, you got this number 2 draft pick in Dylan Harper, and you have I know I'm forgetting a couple other guys, but they have a very deep, a very young roster. What they could do right now is package up some people and go get Giannis, but that's going to be very difficult for one reason. That's going to be very difficult because of the Bucks just went and picked up Miles Turner. They've been needing and wanting the center. So you're telling me you're making those grand moves and you want Giannis? I highly doubt that. So you're probably going to have to try and find another all-star, superstar player to come play alongside a Wemby and a De'Aaron Fox. Could it be a Donovan Mitchell? Could it be a Devin Booker? Could it be who's another guy that's been rumored to be walking around? It could be a Jaren Jackson Jr. I personally wouldn't go that route, but hey, to each their own. You could either try and do something like that and win now, or just say, hey, let's just hold what we got and just keep moving. Because they haven't even had the chance to really see what this team could do, because they could do the whole De'Aaron, Harper, Castle lineup, because it's like, hey, you got Wemby on the back end, so that can like shear up a lot of defensive liabilities that would come from having the 3-guard lineup in a team like this. Even though their team is relatively big, and the way the NBA is set up, you don't really need to be huge. You just need to have the type of IQ to rotate and set your teammate up to limit the amount of defensive lapses a guy like De'Aaron Fox or a Castle could be able to bring up. But keep in mind, Castle is 6'5", and Harper is like 6. I think he's listed at 6'4" and like 3/4, but he's a pretty big stouty guy. So you could raise that up a couple of inches low key. So you could keep and see what happens, or you trade De'Aaron so you don't have to pay him that massive max that's coming soon, because they're gonna have to re-sign him. And not to mention, Wemby might be the first $1 billion player we ever see. So there's a lot of money that needs to be moved around and set up to be able to set themselves up for the future to make something real for a guy like Wemby. Because when you have Wemby, you have a chance. Because if it's a thing where it's like, hey, let's keep the roster the way it is, and we at least see what De'Aaron Fox is able to do with a guy like Wemby, y'all might be able to sneak in to a pretty high. You could I could realistically see them being a fourth seed based on if Wemby makes this offensive jump. Because if he understood defense right away, which we all kind of anticipated would be the case, but we're all waiting on what is his offensive game really going to be, because it could be a bunch of jump hooks. He's able to shoot threes. He's able to be more impulsive. But the main thing that he was lacking was the fact that he's a skinny guy. He just gained 30 pounds. So is that going to be a thing that offsets that? Is there many bigs that are able to put it in his chest and actually go up? Because the only guys in the league that was able to do that really was Giannis and Embiid. Sabonis was a guy that had the ability to set himself up to do that. What was some other bigs? But yeah, no, there's not too many bigs in the league that's able to really highlight how physically light a guy like Wemby is. So is there really going to be a need to try and like sure that up? Is he going to have to overcompensate? Probably not, but we will only have to see. And listen, let's take the turn, right? I'm going to make the assumption that Wemby is able to jump on his offensive efficiency alongside his bag, basically. Because at the end of last season, before he went down with the blood clot, he was starting to pick up his scoring ability. Could that be because of the season was coming to an end and the team started to like care a little bit less? Maybe, possibly. But some of the mistakes that I was seeing early in the season and earlier in his career, because keep in mind I think this is his third year, was the fact that he didn't know when to try and impose his will, and he didn't peep. That's like, hey, a thing that he learned with CP3 was, hey, you are 7'3", 7'4", please put your hand up. Just walk behind somebody, put your hand up, and I will get you the ball. So if he's able to add that into his repertoire where he actually understands how big and tall he is, he's able to at least average a clean 23 points a game, because last season he literally had 20. So we will see what they do. We will really see what they do. I would not be mad at an Mitchell trade, though. I would really not be mad. Just pack up Harper, pack up Vassell, throw some picks in there. Because keep in mind, they got picks too. So, hey, it's a beautiful squad all around. Beautiful squad all the way around. Oh, and now the Houston Rockets. They added Kevin Durant and traded away... Dylan Brooks and 2 picks. Dylan Brooks and somebody else. But it wasn't anything too crazy. And I've been looking at reports all day. And it looks like the worst deal was the one that they got from the Rockets, because of the Timberwolves were offering Gobert, DiVincenzo, and like another guy to shore up the Suns roster for the trade, and alongside some picks. And then I was seeing trade deals from like everywhere, but the fact that they went with the Rockets was weird in my opinion, because the Rockets aren't going to be bad. So trying to get those picks is especially when you know that y'all are very mediocre when it comes to drafting people. Then I personally wouldn't, but you know what, y'all run the team the way y'all want to run the team. So this is their roster. I've seen a couple variations, but Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson. Wait, hold on. Okay, Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Alperen Şengün, starting 5. And keep in mind, one of the things that the Rockets were able to do last season that was like so weird. They were like, "Hey, we got a mega roster for you. You want to see it?" Everyone's like, "What are you talking about? You're going against the Warriors. Why would you need to go big against them?" And they're like, "Okay." Steven Adams, where are you? Calm and sits. Calm starts. So they were doing this thing where Jabari Smith was their 3, Alperen Şengün was their 4, and Steven Adams was their 5. My brother in Christ, that is 3 7-footers on the team. But now, bro, it might get really scary. I'm not gonna lie. So they've been talking about trying to make Amen Thompson learn how to be a point guard. He's a 6'7", wing because he has glimpses of being able to play the guard, but it's something that he would rather not do because if he has the speed on who he's playing against, because keep in mind he's one of the greatest athletes ever to touch a basketball. Him and his brother's verse is fucking it's greedy. It's actually so greedy, but that's a whole nother conversation. But putting a man at the 1, KD at the 2, Jabari at the 3, Sangoon 4, and Steven Adams at the 5, I would love to run 2K games with that team. Oh my, I'm running them up. I'm running up the numbers. But as I'm watching this team, I'm starting to notice low key. I don't want to say the favorites to come out, but I will say that's my underdog pick. I'm saying that right now, July 4th, 2025, that is my underdog pick to be able to win the 2025-2026 NBA season. And yeah, I have some festivities to do and I gotta clear it up. So hey, thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Very nice.